Dawson, this is Keaton Everett with ABC, going over your pitching video from the San Diego camp. We're going to go through and talk a little bit about what I'm seeing, kind of break it down frame by frame, and kind of go through. There's a couple key points, key spots in the delivery that I like to look at and kind of talk to you about. Ways to generate power, to get consistent, to get ourselves in a healthy position, and just kind of get ourselves the right framework so as we get older, as we get stronger, it's going to come a lot easier. It's going to be a lot more natural, because pitching is very physically demanding. It's a very complex movement and action, and so it's just the more we can kind of focus on it and get it consistent now, the better off you're going to be as you get older. But first off, right off the bat, everything's here is looking pretty solid for where you're at your age, and there's a great setting here for improvement. All right, so that's good. I don't know if you have a pitching coach or whatnot, but everything's looking pretty solid. All right. So the very first spot that I like to look at is how we're getting set up. All right. So much of how we set up dictates how we finish. If you're not set up in the right position, it's going to be hard to finish in the correct position. You're either going to have to work against yourself. It's going to make it harder. It's going to be less consistent. So we just want to make sure that we're setting up. Okay, so right off the bat, something that's going to help you out a lot is if you watch. We'll focus in on this upper body right here. So if you watch right as you're starting, you can see that glove starting to move, that shoulder start to move before that leg starts up. All right, so what I want you to do is start your upper body in this position right here. All right. What's going to make it easy to start there is if you move your front foot and close it off. So I want to see that front foot a little bit in front of that back foot, so it's going to be staggered. Because as you can see, your body wants to go to this position, but when you're starting open, you're going to have to move. We want to make sure that to eliminate all unnecessary movement that we can, so it's more consistent. We just want to be robotic with our mechanics. All right. So get yourself in this position first with your upper body, and all you need to do is just drop that foot over there, and you're already set up, ready to go. All right. That's easy fix. All right. You're coming set with your glove down here, which is good. It makes it a lot easier to time. All right. So one of the things that you are doing good is you are over your back foot. You see kids with some movement back as they start. You'll see that head go back, but that head's locked in right over that back foot, which is good. All right, so everything's looking good here. Okay. So one thing here is you have a really big leg kick. All right, and this is going to be a lot easier as you get older. But I want you to look at two things. I want you to look at this foot down here. And I want you, it's tough at this angle, but to watch your posture. All right, we'll be able to kind of key on it with, here I'll make a little box around your head, and this will you'll kind of see what happens here. All right, so watch. You can see your head kind of lean back out of that box, and all that's showing me is if we were to look from the front, you're leaning backwards with that leg kick. So you're going up, and as that leg lifts high, now your back's going out. You got to make sure that your posture's changing. We want to see no movement in this upper body until we're almost landed. We're almost at foot strike. All right. We just want this upper body just to be locked in place, good posture, and a lot of that is core strength, which will come as you get older. But we just don't want to have any lean back. You're leaning back with that leg. All right, and then I erase the box, but as you go look at this foot, the other thing you're going to see is you're going to see that heel start going towards the plate. All right, and it's just something that tells me that you're not balanced over that back foot all the way through your leg lift. You're shifting your weight backwards, and that's just causing your body to shift here. So now you go from, your energy, your foot's wanting to go straight. Right here, straight path is to the catcher, which is perfect. But now with that shift, now your body wants to go this way. So now you're starting to fight against yourself. All right. So that's just something to look at. Big leg kick's fine, but we just don't want a leg kick that's going to cause us to lose our posture, or rotate over our back foot a little bit. All right. So one thing that will help you with that is to keep this foot kind of dangling down. You know, we want to kind of keep it not so much kicked so far out, but just kind of, you know, maybe just quiet down that leg kick a lot, because a big old leg kick isn't necessarily going to generate a whole lot more power. All right. So other than that, you know, everything's pretty solid. Okay. Good thing here is you're going to see the first movement in your hips. All right. That's good. We want to see those hips drive down the mound, staying close as long as you can. All right. So everything's good with those legs. All right. One of the things that will help you posture-wise again is, I need to draw a little better box here. If we draw, you know, a lot of times you'll hear that drop and drive. All right. And you'll see yourself go almost out of that box before you're starting forward. All right. Getting a lot of bend in this back leg isn't what's going to get you power. You know, you think a lot about, you know, getting down in that leg, bending that knee, but you don't get your power from your quads. You know, your quads are the top part of your legs. You know, you get your power from your posterior chain, which is your butt, your hamstrings, basically the back of your body. All right, so you want to try to stay a little bit taller. You know, we want to see this knee kind of start turning in towards the ground, driving yourself down the hill instead of driving that butt down, kind of sinking down, and that's just going to generate a little more power in your hips. All right. But everything else through this delivery is looking pretty solid. All right. One thing I'd like to see is to change this glove and bump it out over that front foot, almost like it's following that front foot. And that's just, all that does is that's going to help. It's kind of like a guide. You know, your chest is going to want to follow that glove. So the farther out you get it, the more you're going to be able to get that chest out in front. But that's really about it for that glove side. I mean, just pop this glove out a little bit more. You know, something kind of along the lines out here. We want that elbow to be above the glove, something like that. That's going to help you get out a little bit more. Okay. So now the next part we look at is foot strike. So when your foot first hits the ground, it's right here, maybe about right here. All right. So really good arm angle. All right. Nothing too severe. You know, we don't want to see angles in here or out here. So that's a really good spot. All right. So everything's doing pretty good. And if you're just keeping that glove out front, you're going to see this left shoulder not pop open so early. All right. And that's going to help you out a bunch. Torque-wise, you have a really good foundation for torque. All right. Torque is the ability for that hip to go forward before these shoulders rotate, and you see that you're doing a really good job, and that's really good for your age. You know, that back foot starting to turn over, you know, that hip starting to go forward, so that's really good. All right, and then through release, you know, it's pretty solid too. You know, you're seeing a little bit over rotation that back foot here, but you're maintaining a pretty good relationship between that back leg and that throwing arm. But getting that glove out a little bit farther, you're going to see yourself release the ball with that back bend a little bit more. You're going to see probably yourself a little bit more at this position. You know, we want to see that back not so straight up as you're releasing that ball, and you're going to pick up, you know, another 6 or 8 inches or so of release point. You're going to get a little bit more angle on the ball, and it's just going to generate a little bit more power for you. So other than that, Austin, I mean, it's pretty solid. It's good foundation. Everything's there. You know, you're getting yourself in a nice, healthy position. Now it's just a matter of kind of quieting up your legs, maintaining posture a little bit, and just getting that glove out a little bit longer so you can keep that left shoulder on line a little bit longer, and that's going to help you out a bunch. But other than that, overall, real good, man. So hope you had a great time at camp. We look forward to seeing you again with ABC, and hope you're having a great season.